I thought women wanted us to have money, and I thought women wanted us to have money as fast as possible. So I don't see why I'm hopping on here and I see a lot of these fake concerned ass women saying something about us men not going to college. Like, y'all not willing to wait on a man's success because you're not willing to understand the vision that we have. And while some women may get on here and say like, oh, find a woman that understands that, do you understand how hard that is? Especially when you run to a woman that already got some type of success going on in their life. They need you to get success as fast as possible. Women have a mental fucking clock in their head. So it's like, okay, if you're not going to do it in the time frame that they like it, you know, they're going to go to somebody else with money. The average woman ain't finna sit here and understand that I'm in college and I don't have no money for real. I can't take her out for real. I can't get her shit for real. And I still live with my fucking parents or whatever the case may be. The average woman is not going to understand that now. So I don't understand why it's such an uproar on why a lot of black men not going to college. Why there is other reasons on why. That is one of the fucking main reasons. I'm not sitting here saying every woman is like this, but most women are like this. Even women that are still in college and struggling, they damn self. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, while there's other reasons, like, you know, having no guidance, you know what I'm saying? Or a nigga just simply not wanting to go, or a nigga being complacent, or what a woman would call being complacent, even though he's happy in the position that he is in his life. You may call that complacent. But like I said, while there is other reasons, women want us to have money, especially women that's already successful in the field that they're successful in. They want us to already have it.
He was young, right? He said he's not in college, so he is the age of somebody who would be in college.
I got a kid that is on the football team, and he's 11 years old, sorry. And he said him and his girlfriend broke up. Right? They're in sixth grade. Or fifth grade, I'm sorry. He said me and my girlfriend broke up. I'm like, why, what's up? He's like, she told me I had to pay her phone bill. I'm like, I can't even get a job. You got to understand that these women are not the same. Like, yeah, you're thinking from a logical perspective, but these 18 to 23-year-old women are completely lost in the sauce with reality and what it really is, to a point now you're even seeing 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old women saying the same nut shit. I had my daughter in the park pushing her on a swing, and I had to remove her because of I don't even know how old those girls are. They had to be somewhere in junior high. And I'm like, yo, they're talking about cheating and like what they planning on, how they're planning on cheating on their man. Like, but what I'm trying to say is like, what might seem like, oh, this is not reality. The thing is, it's that younger group's reality. And I understand that from like the outside looking in, because it's not my group of people, but it's that group of people, right? Those women are lost in the fucking sauce. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And Marie, who's somebody who is smarter, more intelligent, well-versed, and just, you know, mature, is entirely different from an 18-year-old girl who, in the last 10 years of her life, all she saw was Cardi B's, Glorillaz, Lottos, Sexy Reds. Her life is her mentality is completely different from anybody else who had different influences from a young age to their early adulthood. And that's why you're seeing him say that. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that that's the reason why black men aren't going to college, or people aren't going to college, but that's just to touch on the mentality of the women in his age group.
This younger group of people might have different influences, but I think this is a case where we can say he needs to choose better. Because you can't say all women get excited by a wad of money.
He said most.
He said most?
He said most.
But all women don't need you to have it together at whether he's between 18 to 22, one of those ages. I don't think that every woman expects you to have it together. And if a woman, he said that some women are successful in whatever they're doing right now. And maybe that's honestly just because we know that's a fact that women mature quicker than men. That's just a fact. But not everyone is also going to be successful in that age range as well, because he did say that some women are struggling themselves. So honestly, find the women who are going to stick out with you with whatever your plan is once you figure out your plan. But honestly, I think that you should stop trying to create your plan around a woman. That's just me. You're in school, or you're supposed to be in school, or you're trying to get your life together. Do that for you. that means stop trying to get into this like hustle culture. How can I get more money to please a woman? She wants me to have this. She wants me to have that. She wants me to pay her phone bill. That's crazy. No. Like, figure out what you got to do for yourself and figure out how you want your life to look for yourself. And the woman that you want and the woman who appreciates that and the woman that's, good with what aligns with your plan, that's going to be the woman for you.
They got to do what everybody else before them did. Like, you got to figure out how to go have fun with not that much money.
Exactly. And that's actually a lot of college students at the time. And yes, I know he said that he's not in college, but obviously, like, he's doing something. He didn't say specifically what he's doing to get his life together, but he said he just started getting his life together.
He's an influencer.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So he's an influencer. Okay. So he's making that work for him right now. Yes, he's probably not seeing it monetarily yet. I think that is what he said, right? Mm-hmm. But, he's getting there. How do you eat? How do you go out? How do you make things happen for yourself? It's the same thing as everybody else. Like, have a plan for yourself. You need to figure shit out regardless. Like, women aside, you have to figure shit out regardless.
For yourself.
Yeah.
He is not a part of the red pill movement. If he was, his life wouldn't be that way, because the red pill movement incentivizes you to essentially put yourself first. So this is the problem when you try to please a woman too early in your life. I would never advise that. A woman should be pleasing you. And if she should be in line with you, if she's not in alignment with you, then let her fucking go. Who cares? The next one will. Especially if you're an influencer, you should be able to influence her to like you. But that's besides the point. Learn the game, my boy. Stop putting a woman first. And they say this in every fucking biblical scripture. You should never prioritize a woman in your life. She should be in alignment with your purpose. And the problem is you're not putting your purpose first.
Verse and chapter?
I'm not too sure, but they can Google it. They have ChatGPT. We'll be able to do that.
Oh, no, you out here referencing the Bible. Like,
Bible chat, GPT,
maybe
anybody?
I actually didn't reference. I said they say. So I actually regurgitated their reference.
What kind of cookie? You know how to make macadamia nut cookies?
Macadamia nuts.
Deathly allergic to nuts. So I don't touch them.
Why don't you just wear a glove?
No.
Oh, you have
even the smell of it sometimes
allergy,
makes me itchy.
You know they can't bring them to school anymore?
Peanut.
Good.
No, I mean you can't bring
Baked goods. I know they stopped doing that.
is it lunches or something? You can't bring something to
Peanut
school
butter.
because of the other kids may have like some type of allergies.
So what if that's all we got at the house?
What? Then don't bring it to
homeschool.
class.
Them
Parents, for birthday parties, don't bring anything for the class. Like, that is just like,
What happened? Like, man, I used to love when people's parents brought stuff.
you could bring stuff, but not anything with any nuts in there.
Well, everybody's
Be
fake
mindful.
allergic to everything.
Right.
You don't know what.
Send your kid with when you give them they breakfast in the morning, pop them a Benadryl.
Kids
But
with
now
allergies.
you wanna impede on.
Kids with allergies supposed to walk with their EpiPens anyway, but that's not the point. We talking about kids like being like in birthday parties and when the parents bring anything nut goods. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Whatever. There's this woman that literally always asks me if I can make a cake for her with no eggs, and I always tell her no.
Vegan.
Yeah, she always asks me if I can make like vegan cakes. I mean,
You can.
I can, but I choose not to because
It's a
I'm
lot
not
of work.
offering that to everybody, so I'm not gonna do it just for you. But anyways, there are kids that are allergic to those kind of kids, and it's just like, all right, any treats come in this bitch, yeah, you gotta sit aside. You can't have that.
Yeah.
But nuts should just be off limits. I think that that's just common sense.
That's wild.
I used to be allergic to peanuts. I am now only allergic to tree nuts. I eat peanut butter all the time now.
Oh, just the ground nut.
You know your allergies change every 7 years?
Does it?
That
Potentially.
That explains a lot.
No, yeah, actually, I thought that I was over my nut allergy until high school when I reacted very badly to cashews.
Like I grew an allergy. I didn't know I was allergic to some type of grasses and stuff. And like 6 years ago, or maybe 10 years ago, I kept breaking out from delivering for UPS. Like I'll be walking through the lawns and whatnot. And I couldn't figure out what it was from because I've been playing in grass my whole life and everything. I went to the allergist. They did all this stuff. And she was like, your allergies like he said, potentially change every 7 years. So I became allergic to like all this ragweed and pollen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was
I
never
have like
allergic
a
to.
whole bunch of trees on my allergy list, but you know when allergy time comes, everybody's allergic to everything the fuck outside.
The government's putting it in the air.
Honestly.
Don't get me started.
Sprinkling it.
She said something like that about 7 years, and I heard this before. So that's well, I developed it, which means I changed.
The prompt or the question, rather, are you emotionally 12? Well, maybe, but not exactly. However, many of us are still operating from emotional patterns we developed between the ages of 8 to 12. Chronological age doesn't always equal emotional or psychological maturity. We discuss this concept and how it can explain so much about adult relationships, conflict, and the current state of society. This idea, explored by Dr. Was it Orion Taraban? All right. I really hope I said that correctly. He's a clinical psychologist and creator of PsycHacks. He suggests that many adults are sort of frozen at the stage where they first experienced emotional trauma or neglect. The good news is recognizing this is a first step toward changing. With the right tools, awareness, and willingness to grow, we can evolve beyond our emotional age and start showing up in relationships and in life with greater maturity, understanding, and compassion.
And so this says most people are trapped at age 8 through 12 years of age, emotionally and mentally. There's no tests for that.
Could be a myth.
It will be. Grow up.
I don't know, when you think about the fact that so many people lack basic comprehension, basic analytical, basic like understanding of like language and things that we read, I'm not shocked by this. Like, it says a lot because like I would assume that when you mature, you're able to think about, you've had enough life experiences to think about things from different perspectives. Whether it's based on a different perspective, like as a man or a woman, being of a different religion, being of a different like ethnicity or whatever, because you've lived life and you have different experiences, you would think that would form the context of how you approach things and think about things. But there are people who, when you explain stuff to them, like, you're like, how the fuck don't you understand that? Or like, why on earth is that the first thing you thought of to do in response to the situation? Because it's not mature, it might not be legal. Like, there's so many flaws with whatever it is. And danger. Yeah. But it's like, but you thought that was a good idea.
Well, I think a big misconception is like, because you have that experience, you're supposed to know everything. Like the longer you live, you gain experience, but experience only teaches the teachable. Like if you're unteachable, then you could live to your 100 and just be stupid.
They out here.
Shout out Dr. James. I actually was at the gym. He said that he was benching 315. So I went and I was like, I haven't benched 315 since a year and a half ago. And I did it this week. So thank you for the motivation.
So, yeah, they stuck emotionally and mentally. I think we just saw it. Not knowing how to read the room. I think we just saw it. Look, God is good.
What grade is this? I'm like very bad at like placing myself at age. I need to know what grade I was in.
6th grade and 7th grade. So 7th grade, I was 13.
And
Exactly. Doesn't that come with your circumstance too? Because you may not be able to do that. You may be stuck in a position where that's all you got, and you're just literally just treading water. So you have to just do what you got to do. And I believe there's people on Earth just to do that, just be stuck in one spot. Like that's their job. Like that's their placement. And I'm serious. I think some people can't admit that they are stuck and they're really never going to go anywhere, because that would be like awakening. But people are put here to not grow mentally, not grow emotionally. Like you have to avoid them. That's what I just feel that way.
People are put here to not.
Yeah. Well, in the example that he gave with the kids, when he had to remove his daughter from the swing with the kids that were in grade school and saying they were going to cheat on their boyfriend, their parents are probably younger. So, like, if you're 18, your mom could be 36. Your mom could be 40. So this lends to this point where just because you're that age doesn't mean you grew. It just means you just had a baby. Anybody can have a baby. So
It don't matter.
Honestly, I don't think so, because earlier on, literally in the same conversation, it ran through my mind how I would be raising a child, and no matter what I would want to give my child or shield my child from, I can send them out to the world and they'll still pick up things from other places. Their friends might know things I don't want them to know, and, they might share it with them. I think a child talking like that does not reflect too much on the parent. If they get around their little friends and this is what little girls in school they talk about, and this is who my child is surrounding herself with, I mean, of course, I can influence that a little bit, but not a whole lot, because this is who, she hangs out with. That can't always be placed on a parent. But you never really know what is influence from a parent and what is being influenced outside the house.
I think the baseline should be respect, though.
Respect it. All of it is taught. It's learned behaviors. Or whether you learn it from your parent, whether you learn it from the outside, but most parents are working. But even if they do go into, most households require two people to work, which means both parents are working, which means this kid, more likely than not, is going to have more influence from outside societal factors, environmental factors, than their parents. So can a parent actually parent?
I would be interested to know, like, if you're a young woman in college, or like if you're someone who is a professional now or whatever, and you took the slow grind, like, why wouldn't a man pair himself with someone who maybe comes from a similar situation, who, has had a slow grind, whether it's like, either they went to college or either they went to trade school. Doesn't it seem like, though, speaking from that guy's perspective, doesn't it seem like he should be trying to pair himself with somebody with a background that's more fitting?
You could tell people to do whatever they want, and we're not the only people to bring up a clip. He wasn't the only person to say this. It's a certain sector of people that just have blinders and just want to do what they want to do because they were put here to do that. I don't know what it's called, this theory, but you are put here and, like, that is your life path, and you go a little bit this way, you go a little bit this way, but you were put here to be a garbage man. And you will try to do A, B, and C, and you will end up being a garbage man, no matter how hard you try. And that's fine, because we need garbage men. You don't activate all your talents in your lifetime. But if you did activate all your talents in your lifetime, then you would really break the mold of that design of just being one path.
I don't think that it's anyone's job to save. And I just think I'm a very selfish person, because in this life, why are we saving people? Why is this conversation even going there? I don't agree that people are put here to be useless and not shit. Everyone has their own life, and you do what you want with your own life. If that's what you decide to do with your own life, then that's on you. Not to say that that's what you were put on this earth to do. No, you're going to do what you want to do. If you want to make X happen, you're going to do the work to make X happen. Now, if you're going to just say, I want X, and then just lean back and just hope you get it one day, then yeah, you're not shit. And because you're not working to be shit. But that's on you. That's no higher being. That's not what you were called to do or not called to do. It has nothing to do with that, in my opinion.
You believe in the Matrix?
I don't understand that stuff. And I only watched The Matrix for the first time a couple months ago.
So how about Terminator? You ever seen Terminator?
Nope.
Okay, well.
Sorry.
Because it all starts somewhere. And I think you get a group of people that finally give in and give up their rights. And after we do that voluntarily with our phones and our information and our data, then ushers in the robotic age. So we've given this to them, and now we're so mad that they have everything and oh, we don't want robot police. We don't want blah, 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 blah. But we are complaining about police brutality. And so the answer, unfortunately, is to have a police officer that is completely unbiased, that only follows the law. Period.
AI police, would you not be a little bit more scared of them?
Just hear me out.
Okay.
But
No,
if
I wouldn't.
by human nature, if human nature is brutal and unkind, and this constantly happens, if I offer you the solution hey, the only solution is I give you a programmed robot that walks around and watches crime. That's his only job. Would you take it?
Sure.
So that would be the RoboCop era or the Terminator era, because you're agreeing to it. So a bunch of people agree to that because they want to stop police brutality. They want to stop this. We don't want no more crime. We want a perfect city. And in order to do that, you have to give up a lot.
I did not watch any of the movies that you...
RoboCop, I was going crazy with that.
Okay. But what I do know about some movies that, reference robots doing or replacing what should be human jobs, they pick up on human interactions. Mm-hmm. So if that robot's job is to watch crime, they know crime 1,000%. Mm-hmm. You don't think that robot can potentially become violent?
There is potential for it, but you've chosen that because you decided that we don't want no more police shootings. So if I'm saying right
instant
here,
kill.
You have to make a choice. You would choose the robot.
I might change my answer now.
Okay. Do me a favor, watch Minority Report. Check that out.
So many movies. You're going to have to send me a text.
I got you. Just watch Minority Report. It cuts out crime because it stops you before you even commit the crime because it knows what you're thinking. And that is where we're going to go because that's why they want to put chips in your brain and put chips in your skin. Everything we've seen, the RoboCops, the Terminators, we're in the place right now where that will be the reality. At some point. I sound crazy. If you're saying the Zeus network, right? To unplug, you are making a choice to watch that. So in your unplugging, you're just unplugging from one outlet to another. And you're still feeding yourself that garbage or whatever.
Or an old show, for example. So you don't have to pay attention to the details.
You're actually still paying attention to the details.
Not really. I purposely put on something that I've watched a million times just to have something playing in the background.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that everybody has a button. And when that button's pushed, that's when you go crazy. Period. And I think we see crazy every day. And we just look at it as, mental illness or whatever. No, they were at their limit and their button was pushed. And there's pages I don't know if you follow Tizzy Entertainment. Mm-hmm. So if you follow his page, you can literally see in real time when somebody has had enough. Mm-hmm. And you can watch that and you could say, I don't ever want to be that way. But you could be thinking the same thoughts. So at this very point, that person just went off. That person just went off and became emotionally deregulated and just lost it. And because of that, you have no job.
They start calling people niggas.
They call your job. The internet finds your job where you work. You're instantly fired. If you ever end up on this page for the wrong reason, you're instantly fired because no company wants you to represent them. It's the greatest thing. It's like when you drive by a spot every day, you know the police are there, right? And you know not the speed, and you see this person speeding, and you want them to get caught. You can literally watch this person get caught on his page.
I watch it.
I love his page. Shout out to Tizzy Entertainment. Tizzy ENT. He basically people send him videos, but it's not even just racist. It's just people acting out of character. Like if you're driving by and like a kid cut you off on his bike, that was one of them, and the guy gets out of the car and he punches the kid and he threatens the kid. Like, why are you threatening a kid? His limit was done. Because if you think about it, his life is completely over. You can't work where you worked anymore. Now you have to find a new income. Your wife, your family's embarrassed by you.
That's so smart.
It's
so terrible.
It's
stupid.
That's it. your life is done and you can watch it in real time. I love that.
Crazy.
But good thing they can pivot and go get a trade in 18 months.
But can you?
Then they got to worry about that old job.
Yeah, now you got to worry about your stupid.
Because it kind of feeds into my theory that everybody has like a limit, like just a limit, and you can actually see them go to that limit. Because every day we deal with passive aggressive people, or aggressive people. And I think as a man, sorry to make this man a woman, but like as a man, you know when you talk to another man what it's going to be. Because he's either going to talk or we're going to fight. There's no in between. And I feel like as women, like you guys could call women catty or whatever and like, and do all the back talk. But like as a man,
Or you can punch the interviewer right in her face.
True, but you see it. That was her limit. Like what? You see her just go off. She could lose her job. She could lose everything. And you see it in real time. You could see people's buttons being pushed and that's it.
She can, but she's standing 10 toes down. What the fuck she said?
He might be done creating an impact for your life.
Thank you.
He's still impactful for other people's lives.
The truth.
And that's what I mean. You can hate somebody, you can not like them, but somebody is still listening to them and somebody's still being fed by them.
Not millions. I think that it's important to understand that we keep on going around the main root of the problem. And when we start to understand the actual problem and stop trying to adjust to the problem, so we allow the problem to exist as everybody gradually ages, maybe we should start to understand, hey, people are cracking because there's a terrible system in place. Maybe we should start to understand that there's nobody who's actually being real. Maybe we should start to understand that we'd rather be politically correct than be honest about the truths of whatever the situation is, whether it be politics, whether it be finances, whether it be podcast. I have zero clue. All I'm saying is we keep dancing around the truth. At some point, for a long period of time, people were able to live without knowing. Now we're at a great age where people refuse to live without knowing. And now you're seeing people crack because now they're either a victim to what has already been systematically done. That's why some kids aren't going to college. Or now you're seeing people crack because they have now waken up and they see the truth and they know it for what it is. In the next 20 to 50 years, everything that is right now won't be right now. And that's because whatever needs to be reworked will, in a good way or a negative way. I don't know which way it will go, but hopefully it should go the right way.
Got that Sagittarius foot shaking.
Is that what it is? So, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all voted old boy to the office. I was like, shit, groceries going down. They ain't went down yet. That's all I want.
Eggs went down.
But you know what?
Eggs went down for me.
Maybe they did.
live in
Maybe they
Westchester.
did
Maybe
a
that's
little
the
bit.
Eggs
But
went
you
down
know
for
where
us.
I be going,
30%.
Aaron?
My boy, thank
Going
you.
to ShopRite.
And
And they had
Blackman's
but I get
eggs
the
used to be
30
$10 for me. Now it's
and
like
before
$7.80.
it was, I think it was $15 before.
Yep,
it went
picked it up today.
went down a little bit.
I used to buy before.
The 30 pack.
We eat a lot of eggs. So.
Yeah, I be getting a 30 pack. And when I bought it yesterday, I think it said $12.99, and I was like, yeah, this went down.
They had a coupon the other day because I bought
Shit going down.
2 of them for a cheap price, but it was a store coupon.
So you don't think like that's part of to like make us really to push us to our limit, kind of like all this that's going on is to like push us to the limit.
Oh no, that's on purpose. That's absolutely by design.
So
We're growing.
if we're being pushed to the limit, like why? Huh?
It's a distraction.
Okay, from
I think it's a distraction from a lot of the things that are happening. And so when you're bombarded with information, it's hard to say, oh, well, let me focus on that. Let me focus on, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's so much. You're like, oh, what the fuck do I focus on? You know?
So if it's what the fuck do I focus on, people want to have automatic focus. So if you give up your rights and you give up your data and you give up thinking for yourself,
I got you.
allow the computers to do it, or the computers, I'm old, the AI and the robots to do it, where does that leave the humans? That's why I say that's when we go into pods, and I believe in the Matrix, because I feel like these are the steps that are leading us into just being to a dystopian.
Oh, it's definitely dystopian level bullshit going on.
But I'm saying this is just what I believe, because
No.
think about the Matrix, right? How did they get there? It wasn't like they woke up into pods. Everything was a step. And everything was a step. It wasn't like they woke up and stole us. Everything was a step. So if you're pushing people to on the brink of killing other people, we don't want to see any more crime. Okay, cool. We gave y'all robots. We don't want any more robots. Now y'all fighting robots. Okay, you're fighting what we gave you, what you asked for. Now you gotta get into a pod so we can control everything. And that's how the Matrix. Listen,
It makes a lot of sense.
but my thing is, why don't people recognize that the steps aren't in our control? The steps really aren't in our control.
You're really asking why don't people recognize it? People don't even recognize good choices to make every day.
Okay,
Like,
I yield to that.
You think McDonald's changed because of people?
No, they didn't because
Jesus
it was
Christ, Alan.
popular and then
There's
it
no way
needed to
you
be
believe
mass
that.
produced. If it ever took 35 minutes.
You think that this is just, again, by accident? You think it's just supply and demand? You think fast food just changed? McDonald's was 35 minutes. It took McDonald's 35 minutes to prepare a burger, and now it takes them 35 seconds.
family's kind of always been in real estate somehow. And like when my great grandfather died, I want to say, like, as a black man who was born in the 1800 something, like he died, I want to say with like over 100 properties. My grandfather, so his son is still alive today, 90 years old. And I can't even imagine how many pieces of properties he's owned. At one point, my grandfather was the biggest black grocer in Houston. So like you a black man and you own 3, 4, 5 grocery stores. You know what I mean? But the reason why he even had it here to even do that was because look what his dad did. You know? And so I think because they had the wherewithal, the audacity, and really like a bit of treacherousness is why they were able to do what they did. And that's where I get, my inspiration from. And I realized that like they was crawling so I can jog.
Hey, Amanda, we got a message from a viewer who needs your advice on a situation that just happened to her brother. So, her brother just got married a few days ago. Everything seemed fine at the wedding, no issues. But then during the reception, the best man gets up to give a speech and out of nowhere says, "By the way, I used to date her. We were together for a while. She's a great woman and I just wanted to share that today." Nobody saw it coming. The groom had no idea about the past relationship between his new wife and his best man. Now he's completely thrown off. He's been married for barely a few days and he's already talking about possibly getting an annulment. The viewer wants to know, what should her brother do? Is this a reason to reconsider the whole marriage, or is it just an awkward moment that he needs to move past?
I was going to say I had a question, but you obviously read the same thing that.
You heard.
Yeah, so it's not like she going to give me some more details.
Yeah. Say it.
Is this a reason to reconsider the whole marriage, or is it just an awkward moment to move past?
At this point, I'm just interested to know that why did the two people not say anything? Like, did they get together and like discuss whether it's a good idea to say something?
I think that's what it was.
But all right, so if y'all agreed to not say something, why you open your stupid ass mouth during the
wedding
cheers?
is the wedding liquor,
The answer is alcohol.
It's the wedding liquor.
The answer is alcohol.
She should steal off on him.
Open bar.
Yeah, she should steal off on him.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't change what happened, but...
Sometimes you got to get popped in your face.
Oh, yeah. Somebody should get snuck.
Like...
But the fact is they're both liars.
Liars?
Absolutely.
No, okay, so I think something should have been said. But if they, knowing him, decided that it's probably not a good idea to say something, then I would also consider that. Because
Well, they probably would have made that decision to not, knowing him, because he probably would have reconsidered dating her in the first place had he known. That might be a thing.
reconsidered dating her or just acted like a little annoying person
The
about
word
it.
the word you're looking for is deception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they both lied.
They did. I'm not negating that.
Okay, so
They did. They both lied, and that's a tough one for me because it was the best man. That's someone very close to him.
Yeah.
As his best man, he should have said, like, I could understand her not wanting to say anything.
yeah, it's that time. It's that time of the episode.
Why? Because she's a hoe?
Okay.
Duh.
No, well,
Yeah.
everything does not fall under hoe because I'm not even playing this game this time.
She was trying to smash both of them at lunchtime.
Eiffel Tower?
We're not, I really don't want to play that game today. I'm not playing that game today. And let's just be real, like, people can date people and then along the line come in contact with someone else who is friends with an old fling or an old person that they dated. Like, no one has control over that. You're either going to be like, okay, well, damn, they're friends and I'm going to pursue him anyway, or you're just going to be like, oh, that's too close, so I'm going to walk away. Maybe she had no knowledge of them being friends when she pursued him, or the other way around, or whatever. Whenever she found out, she decided to keep that information to herself, maybe just to not complicate things or have him walk away from her, or whatever the case may be. I do think that on the friends' behalf, he should have said something. I don't see any reason why he kept that a secret.
I don't know. I think they both had an obligation to say something.
Yeah.
And which is actually why I was led to the thought that perhaps they colluded and got together and talked through it and made a conscious decision as to why they wouldn't say something.
Yeah, I feel like it went a little bit like, did you? No, I didn't say. All right, I'm not going to. All right, I'm not going to either.
Yeah, I mean, I think both people had an obligation to say something.
Well, it was probably a guilty conscience on his end. He's the best man at their wedding now, and he's probably just felt so guilty for holding that in. He just needed the liquid courage. But a toast at the wedding for everybody to get this piece of information is actually pretty nuts and embarrassing to the groom, for real.
So really that he ain't your friend. You out here trying to embarrass me. That's what you doing. Because if you wanted to just let me know, all you have to do is put me to the side. You ain't have to embarrass me.
You don't think
so? He a hater ass dude. That's what
He probably was jealous that his friend is the one that
marrying her,
that got her, for real.
she's the one that lays with him every night? That's my only issue. It was a bigger situation than she wanted to let on. So she literally laid next to this man for however long, and then said yes to his proposal. And it wasn't this wasn't the first time that they met, huh?
Yeah, she should have said something from the jump.
Yeah,
I mean, they both should have said something from the jump.
And I'm sure they were around each other before,
right?
Like at other. So then each time we were all together, you even sitting here smiling in my face and lying. And how do I know you wasn't like shooting eyes at him? And then, okay, I remember that time you were in the bathroom and he wasn't here.
Oh yeah,
somebody got
my mind would have
Yeah,
I could understand considering the annulment.
Yeah,
I definitely could understand that.
This is an ID channel episode. Like, this is what happens on the ID channel. No, I'm serious. You did this in front of my mother. You did this in front of my family, my other friends, my granny. Come on.
Wait. Who did what? Because the person that said something is him.
Yeah, he said something, but
Somebody did.
Y'all did it in front of, because he said something and she knew.
I fucked your bitch.
The word is deception on both parts.
Yeah, no. But see, no. He got a little lanny up on his shit. So he was deceitful, right? And then he also outed the whole thing. Like, he exacerbated an already, like, terrible situation.
She slept with him every night. That's closer than your friend.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. I said yes, she was wrong. She should have said something. But see, he took it the extra mile.
And embarrassed him.
Yeah.
But
he set out to embarrass him to make him look bad.
You think that's more embarrassing than laying up with him every night?
What causes embarrassment?
The truth.
When everybody
Shame.
fucking knows.
The truth. The truth.
I get what you're saying, girl. They just want to act.
No. That's
he in the wedding.
That's mad disrespectful. Like, there was disrespect on both sides, and he's the best man. Come on.
That's what we saying.
Literally.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying because I'm a man and I feel betrayed, she laid up in the bed with me every night.
You have the right
They
to
both
be
did.
exactly.
Yes, I agree.
They
And
both
I'm
stayed
saying
in the bed.
just my take and my opinion.
I understand that, but quick question.
Yes.
So we're gonna tally it up. She lied, he lied, and they both lie by omission, right?
Yep.
Not only did he lie, he called it out and embarrassed him in front of everybody on his wedding day.
But you're missing the middle piece.
What's the middle?
The middle piece of before the wedding, she saw him every day, and she had a bigger opportunity.
I know that.
Oh, but you're not including that.
Yeah,
You're just
but the
going
best friend see him all
They
the
both
time.
had-
They
they
build.
both had
They
an
both
opportunity.
kick it all the time.
Kiss
Like
and touch.
It's his
that
best
does not
man.
matter. That's his best friend.
No, I'm just listen.
And hold on. And I do want to add this. Before she was sleeping with him every night, she had to have known from early on that these two guys were friends. I've dated him however long ago, and now I'm dating him. They're friends.
You're proving my point.
Hold on.
Sorry.
But that wasn't at a point where she's sleeping with him every day. I'm pretty sure when the best friend found out, oh, you're dating this girl, he had the same opportunity as her to say something from
he
the
probably
beginning.
knew before him.
Exactly. At the beginning, when they
That's true.
both first found this information, she didn't have that much of a responsibility to tell him because she barely knows this new guy. She barely knows this new guy. She could have kept that information to herself because what if this only lasts a month, 2 months? It doesn't matter. There's no wedding
Well,
at this point.
you don't know that.
I'm talking about the beginning of the relationship where they both would have realized the connection. He didn't know.
We don't
he
know.
did know.
We don't know if the homie knew. We don't know.
That's his best friend. He didn't
we don't
know who you're dating.
in the early stages if the homie knew who he was dating. He probably only knew when the homie popped up, when he actually introduced him. And most times when a guy introduces a girl to their homies, he's too far gone. But the problem is like, yo, maybe that's her opportunity to tell because she wants to marry him or potentially marry him. So it's the wife's opportunity to disclose the truth.
As a best friend,
On
why
a
would you
day-to-day
even
basis.
give that?
Now, as a best friend, is it embarrassing that you told me on my wedding day? But thank you. Because you know what? At least you told me. I could have been living a lie my whole life. Look, you told me at a point in time where I could still make a decision, where I could still get the fuck up out of this.
This is the reception. They're married, boo.
No one is negating the deception. Like we've agreed on the deception. The deception is actually the baseline. They're one for one. Like nobody's raise your hand if you argue in deception.
Don't.
Raise your hand. Exactly. So why are we even talking about deception? Deception is a given. What we talking about is he got a hoe ass nigga as a friend who wanted to embarrass him on his wedding day.
No,
because the thing is that if you love somebody as your friend and you care about them, you want them to know because you wanted them enough to know because you blurted it out to everybody. So you do want them to know, but why'd you have to embarrass him?
Because she embarrassed you.
No, but
She
hold on.
embarrassed you.
We just
embarrassed you.
agreed that they were probably all three in the room multiple times.
At some point.
Multiple times, though. This is your best friend. This is somebody you were about to marry. You guys were in the same room multiple times, right?
Assuming.
How
could you call somebody your spouse knowing that you fucked their friend? How about this? Better late than never. I don't even care about the time frame and when he did it. Better late than never. The fact that he did.
You guys are putting the spouse on a higher.
Yes, I am because I'm not marrying my best friend. I'm getting into a legal contract with you. My best friend, I could push him to the side and say, all right, cool.
You got a legal contract with the car company when you bought your car.
You deceived me too.
It don't mean shit.
You deceived me. Get the fuck out of here. I can X out my best friend. He could be dealt with
Y'all
however he be dealt with.
that.
Now,
Y'all really backwards.
you had the audacity to date me, to potentially marry me,
As a
or
nigga
actually
to
did
come
marry me, and never tell me that you was fucking my best friend at some point in time in your life. I don't know if it disclosed the time frame, but at some point in time, he was fucking my best friend, and you wanted to marry me, and you never wanted to take the initiative to be honest with me before my marriage, to actually give me information that would most likely serve me in a positive direction before this marriage. But yet, you want me to chastise my best friend more than you? No, he's wrong, but you're more wrong. As a wife, newlywed, and as a
Now
girlfriend throughout the entire time.
Deception.
Now wife.
Deception
The
first.
all the time she was your girlfriend.
Right.
Well, both. I'm saying both.
Nobody's arguing
What's
deception.
the last part of girlfriend? Because that was his friend. She was also his friend. And you got to be friends first before you become a girlfriend.
Nobody's arguing deception.
But we're saying that
nobody's arguing.
we're not
they
arguing
both
deception.
lied.
What
They both lied.
what we're saying is
So why
that
we
they're
even talking
both
about it?
liars.
We
One is
agree
worse
on
than the
that.
other.
No, because they're trying to say that the girl is
But
both
One
lied.
saved me from an actual
He did not
lied.
save you. You're not saved. And that's not your friend. Y'all be
Fuck
so
the
in love with
friendship.
y'all
He
bros
still told
and
me.
blaming the wrong person. Yes, y'all be so fucking in love with y'all bros
Yo,
because
y'all are confusing the fact that
That's what it is.
one person.
that's what it is.
What
the fuck are you talking about?
No, first of all, nobody. See, like this is why I can't have layered conversation with people who are surface minded. You cannot have a
Clearly
situation.
wasn't talking to me. He was.
No, he can't be
kind of one of y'all
You
niggas
cannot have-
service minded.
You can don't get triggered. You cannot
Because he
have a
sure
situation.
wasn't talking to me.
You cannot get triggered. Let's not have a You cannot have a
I won't be
situation
triggered.
where you're going
I'm
to
not
say,
in love with
listen,
my bros.
you cannot have a situation where you say, hey, listen, I don't appreciate the truth at some point. I'm not saying that he's a good friend. I'm not saying that he's a friend to have. I'm saying that at least the least he can do is brought to surface the truth. At a terrible time, yes, but you know what? Thank you for that information. You will be kicked out, and as well as this woman who had the opportunity to tell me for X amount of time that I've been laying next to her side by side, then all the times that I confided in her, all the times that I trusted her, and if she couldn't tell me about something about my best friend and her in the past, I don't expect for her to be able to tell me something that's a tough conversation in the future, right? Because she's already displayed the inability to do so. So thank you, bro. But you're still not a good bro. But you, miss, you got to go. Hundo.
Can I just say that if you're my best friend and we best friends for X amount of years, but I start talking to this new person I've now been talking to for a month, I'm going to give you guys the equal opportunity to tell me something and feel like you more than my best friend should have told me something? All right. Go ahead.
I think some men will actually use that as a bargaining piece and or leverage over the wife in the marriage. That's a lifetime cheat pass. It's not right. I'm not saying I would do it, but if you think about it, it's a lifetime cheat pass. You lied on our wedding day in the church in front of our family.
Church they ain't never been back to.
That's a bad church. Go back to church. I say 50-50 because some men would be like, oh, in their feelings and leave, but some other men would be like, I bet. I got you, and just make her life miserable. I ain't saying either one is right. So I say 50-50.
I'd say it's half and half. Because one, I think to actually go find an attorney, pay an attorney, and do whatever it is you need to do to have an annulment drafted and filed and potentially contested.
Right after you just had a wedding
Right
trial?
after you just paid for a wedding.
Damn.
I think the
pocket's
percentages
running
are
dry.
kind of low of somebody doing that.
Shouldn't she pay for it?
Well, technically they're still married right now. Run the check, mister.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you off.
Mine is yours.
So, yeah, use our money to file. Let's be honest. Half, I actually agree wrong. Half of the people are going to go through with it, and the other half won't.
Now,
But I'll say this.
say she's worth more money now. Put that in there.
Let's not even
Watch
put that in
this.
there.
To do it. Watch what happened. It'd be 90% of men would stay.
Listen, or even look at this. How about at some point the scenario is almost the exact same. The best friend, whatever, tells him after the fact, but did not embarrass him in front of his people. So people don't know.
30.
The only people that don't know
30 will.
or that know are the people in the triangle. So I think that
Niggas can't.
the amount of people
niggas can't
who
live
are
with
actually
their best
going to
friend
just,
fucking their wife.
figure it
talking
out
about
and
the
go
movie.
on, I think
Niggas
it's
can't live
much
with their
higher.
best friends fucking their wife. That's it. If he told him in private, it'll be 90-10. But the fact that he told him in public is 50-50 because you know why? Men do deal with ego and say, you know what? Maybe I can live with this situation. Whatever. It just happened.
Proves our point.
No, I'm saying 90-10 would go if he told him in confidence.
I know that proves our point, meaning the person who actually had the bigger impact was the hating ass friend who embarrassed him in front of everybody on his wedding day.
No. Okay, let me say this again. The person who had the biggest impact is her. If that friend told him in confidence, there's a 90% chance he would leave. The fact that he told him in public is a 50% chance that he'll stay, because a man would try to ration his ego versus his situation. You know what? I'm not going to let this situation show me that I'm weak to the public, right? I'm going to try to thug it out.
How does that make you weak? I think that everybody being your business would be like, oh, this marriage is over.
No. I'm not talking from a woman perspective. I'm talking from a man's
When he
perspective.
finishes, let us tell us.
If a man feels like another man is trying to deteriorate him, a man's going to step up, even if at his own detriment, and try to show that it won't, right? So there's a good percentage of that that's going to say, you know what, I'm going to stay, right? Now, I also do agree some men are going to leverage it. So it's kind of like wishy-washy, but I feel like that's 10 to 20% of men are going to try to leverage that throughout their marriage if they continue to be married. But if a man told him in confidence, listen, I didn't want to tell you before, but I've been fucking your wife, when your new wife, or I did fuck your new wife. Most men cannot live with uncertainty within their woman. And the fact that you weren't, again, able to have a hard or tough conversation with me prior to this moment, I would never look at you the same. I would never trust you the same. With anything that's difficult in your life, you could run into a situation where you do have infidelity, and let's just say that man is capable of dealing with the infidelity and pushing through. In his mind, he'll question himself because he'll never know if it actually happened, because she's already demonstrated that she can't even tell him when there is some type of tough conversation that will happen. So she's already proven her character flaw from the very beginning. And so did he at the same time. But because he's married to her, he's going to get rid of her, or he's going to leave majority of the times.
So what's the percentage? What was it, 50?
He said it's 90.
If he told him in private. If he told him. Okay.
50-50 in public, 90-10 in private.
My advice is to get the annulment. I would not recommend starting a new marriage that way. Moving forward, that would be the basis of the new marriage. This information that has just been sprung upon us.
So my daughter is
She can read. Oh my God!
yeah, she can read. So my mom was over. First, my mom was supposed to come over on Friday. She was in the city on Friday, so I picked up my daughter on Friday night. And she's like, Grandma Linda here? I was like, no, we're going to see her tomorrow. So she did a little pouting thing. I was like, it's literally like 5 hours away tomorrow. You'll be fine. When you wake up, she'll be here. So we wake up, go to the what do you call this? Go to the train station, pick up my brother and my mother. Get in the car.
Where were they coming from?
They were coming from New York, but
Like a different.
originally they were in South Carolina. They flew to New York because my brother had to see the eye specialist.
Oh, okay.
And so picked them up. We were hanging out all day, whatever. So my daughter says, oh, I want to go do a little shopping. She takes out her phone. I was like, shopping? What are you talking about? She's opening Amazon on her phone. I was like, whose Amazon account is that? She was like, oh, mommy's. I was like, well, shit, let me throw some shit in the cart too.
What?
So, but I guess it's just not connected to an actual credit card or whatever. So she called herself shopping. My mom comes over and she's like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm just putting stuff in my cart. So my mom goes, oh, let me see what you got in there. She goes, oh, you like that? She's like, yeah. She's like, well, let me put it on my iPad so we can get it for you. She's like, okay, sounds like a good idea. So they're shopping on Amazon, whatever. So she goes, she sees me walk away. She goes, and I could hear her as she whispers, she goes, Grandma Linda, can you make sure you send it to my house, though? I usually get it sent to my girl's house just because it's buy stuff, we leave it there. So she's like, yeah, don't touch it. And she's like, looks over and I look back. I was like, I heard you. So she's like, all right, it's supposed to arrive Tuesday. So make sure you call me Tuesday. My mom was leaving Sunday, whatever. She's like, all right, Grandma Linda. So yesterday, I get a call at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's my daughter. I was like, Zuri Gray? Like, what are you doing? She's like, hey, Dad. I was like, what's up? I was like, what are you doing? Are you home from school? She's like, yeah, we had a half day. I was like, all right. I was like, the packages come? She said, no, the package isn't coming yet. I was like, all right, we'll call grandma because you guys are fiddling on the iPad. Maybe you'd send it to the wrong address. She's like, all right, I'll call you back.
It's still only 1 o'clock in the day, though.
3 minutes later, my daughter's mother texts me. She goes, your child said she was sick and went to the nurse. And the nurse called me so I can pick her up. And then as soon as we got into the apartment building, she ran around looking for the Amazon packages. She was never sick.
And she didn't have no half day.
Oh, I was like, she said we had a half day.
And I wasn't mad. I was like, that's...
Is this the same daughter that just learned how to read?
Yeah.
Shocker.
She got a
Yeah. So...
she got a cell phone?
Is her phone?
Her phone. I mean, she don't pay it, but it's her mother's phone.
Is there she can call on it?
Call, text. She text you, hang up on you. She FaceTime you, hang up on you.
Oh,
She just don't got an Amazon with a real credit card.
No, not mine anyway.
must be nice.
Right? I never did get those socks I put in her cart.
Did she get she didn't get her thing either, did she?
No, she got that. She got the packages.
Oh, it did
Yeah,
come.
she
Oh,
ended up
okay.
calling my mom and everything, but the whole thing was she figured out how to like master manipulate already and lie and I was like, ugh. I can't
She
be
did this
mad.
yesterday.
Yesterday. I was like, I can't be mad. Apparently she woke up in the morning and asked her mother, are the Amazon packages here yet?
Dang.
Like, first
Like,
thing
you
I-
know, Amazon, it be saying sometimes arrival
Yeah, but
by
she just-
10 p.m.
She doesn't understand like the whole, she thought she was going to wake up and get them. So that means she woke up and she plotted all day, like, how could I get home to get these packages?
It means she has a decent level of critical thinking at this moment, which is good.
It was a good laugh. I mean,
It is something to be proud of.
yeah, I mean, I would have done it. Shit. That was definitely me being like super sneaky when I was a child. So,
Oh, you was sneaky?
hell yeah.
That was my brother. I ain't never been sneaky.
As soon as you see the cars leave and like, you know what, I'm going to cut school today. And then I'd be home by the time they got home. Like, oh, school's good. Yeah, I mean, you're like, well, what'd you learn today? Just make up some shit.
The
Just-
Pythagorean theorem.
Right. Until she got that report card, but like, you ain't learned shit.
I never cut school.
Me neither.
Like, I might have left early a few times. Is that the same thing? I never, like,
Not really.
faked like I was going to school and then didn't go. I didn't. I used to go through after gym. There was, like, this, like, exit in the cut. No cameras. Sometimes after gym, you just leave.
Yeah, cameras in your school?
Like, in the halls.
Damn,
you probably did.
definitely did not. They probably didn't have a camera system when I went to school, so no.
They had to have some basic camera.
For the front doors to get into the school,
Oh, okay.
to, like buzz you in, but not in the hallway.
I just finished watching that $1 million reality show.
Oh, with the house and the
Yes. What is it called?
some I don't know.
It's a reality show?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a game.
I watched like 3 episodes and I fell asleep, but then when I woke up, I seen who was left. I was like, all right,
I liked it.
well, you finished the whole thing?
Well, up until I don't like that Netflix keeps putting shows in parts, so you have to wait till Thursday to get the.
Oh, so it's not over?
new-
No season finale?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I kind of prefer to binge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I have to wait till Thursday to see what happens next.
They got some shit on there called Con Mum.
Con Mom.
Con Mum. Because it's from Britain, London, whatever, so it's mum.
Series.
It was about this. So this chef never knew his mother, and then he got with this lady. They were going to have a baby, and like everything was going fine in his life. And then somebody he gets an email, like, "Hey, I'm your long lost mother," and he was like, "What?" So he starts asking her questions. She's answering all the questions right. So come to find out, in the end, the lady is a con artist. She said she was the niece of the Sultan of Brunei, but like when they met, like she was spending like mad money.
The lady who
Who said it was his mother? Now, mind you, she was.
who was she really?
Oh, in the end, it was actually his real mom, but she ended up scamming him out of hundreds of thousands of pounds. It was pretty good. It was like, damn, because he ended up doing a what do you call this, DNA test, and it came back 99% that it was his mother, and then his wife ended up checking on him and was like, because he wasn't coming home, they just had a baby. She said she had 6 months to live. And so he was like watching.
mom.
The mom did. So he was like spending the last 6 months with her, but she lived way past 6 months. And then she scammed like everybody. And she just went around like doing this for like at least 2 or 3 decades. Yeah.
Is it a real story?
So did she know that was her real son, or did she just?
She absolutely did.
Oh.
Yeah, but she
She couldn't fight that con.
Right.
yeah, she'd been conning.
She's gotta get 'em.
Arrested in like 1985, and she's just been conning people. I had to rewind it because they said 99% that she was the mother. I was like, wait, what? Because you expected it to not be the mother, because she doesn't even really look like him. She's kind of like Asian in the face, kind of. He's just like this big round black dude, but
It's a black dude?
yeah,
The mom or the guy? Or the
No, the
lady.
mom.
I think it's from Singapore. Singapore? What's Singapore? Singapore? No,
Samoa, maybe?
Singapore.
It's in
That's
Asia.
where that's exactly, but
That's
that's
what
where
I'm
she
saying.
said she was from.
Something like that. Yes, but she wasn't Samoan. It's from Singapore.
Singapore.
You saying Singapore? Just one more time.
Singapore.
Yeah, you are. It's
I couldn't even hear it. I thought it was
it
Alan.
was too.
What am I?
Singapore. You seen that lady that snuck the other lady for, when she was giving her interview?
Pro-life
bring it
versus
outside.
pro-choice.
Yeah.
And the interviewer was obviously pro-life. And her interviewing style was just very weird because she was interviewing this random lady on the street. And when the interviewee, right? Yeah. When she wasn't giving her the answers that she was like wanting, and she was basically saying like, what were they talking about? Planned Parenthood. And she was like, yeah, like Planned Parenthood is great. I think that, you know, they're a good facility, blah, blah. And she was like, but do you know that this and this and that? And she's trying to give stats, and she's like, they're bad. Like, they do this much abortions per year and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, we shouldn't be having babies that we can't take care of. Like what's the problem?
Flush the bitches down the toilet.
And after a while, she just said, bitch, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah. She said something crazy like, oh, so you're not going to admit that you just said that we should kill all the children in foster care? It was just something wild. I was like, what?
Like, where did you get that?
She might have said it. I don't know.
No, she did.
You
She
got it,
actually
Alan, or
did
no?
say it. But you have to see can we pull that up
It's
today?
only like 20 seconds.
No, actually the whole thing was seven minutes.
There it is.
Oh, this? How'd you already have this?
You seen it on his phone?
Your point of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been
That's
abused.
not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
Why you following me?
Hey, she pieced her so fast.
Yes.
Probably.
She had to get stitches and everything.
Okay, so this is the short version, but
Yeah.
I actually did watch the whole thing to her like walking up and saying, "Hey, can I interview you?" Like all of that. But it even got worse after the hit. So actually, it was the husband holding the camera recording.
Whose husband?
The interviewer's husband. He was recording the interview. So he followed the girl down the block and said, "Hey, you hit my wife." And she's like, "I don't give a fuck. Why are you following me? You need to be that back there with your wife. Why are you following me?" I agree, because why are you chasing me down the block? Your wife is with no one right now. She's on the floor bleeding.
Especially when she just showed you she had.
But then now
veins.
everyone is like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" Because now this girl is walking around with a bloody face. And she's just like, "I don't know what happened. We were just good. We were doing an interview. Everything was fine. And she just hit me." And I'm like, now, bitch,
Now you know.
now you know.
Yeah.
She didn't just hit you out of nowhere. You antagonized that lady because you was saying foolishness. Like, I wish you would see how it led up to that.
I'm going to find it for you.
She, I don't know, she put like Karen card on her. The tears.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because I didn't like that.
The initial aggression.
Don't say everything was fine and she just hit me. I didn't like that.
That's the Karen.
Because
like,
no, she shouldn't have two-pieced
Yeah.
you like that. That was crazy aggression. But don't say everything was just fine. I don't know. That was stupid.
Hey man, and y'all know I believe in keeping your hands to yourself, but y'all, I gotta watch y'all mouth with people. Y'all really do, especially now. Everybody's on the edge. Everybody, including me. So
So watch your comments.
yo, watch your comments, because everybody's in my groups talking about it. The TV. I was just on jazz music today. So I don't know what's going on today. Yesterday, my husband got home. I was just listening to music. He was like, "Can we turn this off?" And then there goes the news. So, but for the most part,
Honestly, I hate the sound of the news.
it doesn't bother me. It's just it has been an overload of just one day is this, one day is that. They kicking people out. They taking away due process. It's just child.
Fear mongering.
But I don't think it's fear mongering. I think like it is. What's the word? There are things that are actually happening, and not even that I'm worried about it happening to me. It's just like, can we just slow the fucking clown car down? Like just one day, just chill out. You know what I mean? But it's just news cycle, this and that, and anyway, I had to take myself away for a couple of days. That's all. I mean, because I'm literally in my mind, I'm like, I still got sheetrock to buy. You know what I mean? Like I still got just everything. So I'm worried about materials right now. Like I kind of wish when I was little, I used to go to my grandmama's house, and she would always like save the comics from the newspaper. Like at this point, I want to read some comics, you know, because everything. And I read a lot of articles in a day, maybe 15 or so. And I just have not had any desire to do that. So I get it. A recent reporting just stating that there's a huge gap between the number of Black men and women entering into higher education. And they specifically call out the reduced number of Black males that are going to college. A lot of people have an opinion. Some is like emotional, some is like social, and then others. I love to hear the professionals on it, like the people who do community work, therapy, teachers, people who are like more boots on the ground with this stuff. I love their take. And one thing that I didn't even think of that I found out, shout out to Professor Odie, I was watching something that he posted. And a lot of it has to do with how Black boys are perceived as they grow up. So even just being, 5-year-old toddler, is a 5-year-old toddler? Whatever. Being like a little kid, preschool, kindergarten, whatever. And with Black and white students, Black and white teachers, there's always a focus on the young Black male that's in the classroom. So over the years, that obviously puts them in a position to be scrutinized more, to be punished more, to sully their like school record that follows you as you go through high school, or as you matriculate through high school, and whatever, all the way up. And all of those outcomes don't do anything to make a young Black boy, I guess wholesale, because some people are still going, obviously, but make a decision just to wholesale be done with college, or not find any value in it, or be willing to make the slow money, which is a segue into another thing we're going to talk about. But I really would like to know what y'all's thoughts are on why the Black boys aren't doing what it takes to, one, I guess, get into college, or they're just being like whatever and have no desire to be there.
Well,
Anybody?
honestly, there's been a stigma saying that like college isn't needed. How sometimes if you don't know what you want to do, college isn't the best direction, because going into college, not knowing what you want to do, getting a bullshit degree is a waste of money. It's a waste of time. Because honestly, coming out of college with a degree that's very useless just doesn't make any sense, to be honest. So I think that's why some men just go straight towards either finding something to like build business-wise, like entrepreneurship, or just going straight to doing a trade.
But the numbers actually don't indicate that they're going to trades either. So it may not even be just a college thing. It may be like furthering your education, because you're still in school if you're going to get a skilled trade. You know, it'd be different if the numbers of them in college was decreased and then the trades, them entering trades was increased. Then okay, that makes a lot of sense. There's a correlation. But if there's a decline in both, or there is no appreciable increase in both, the question is, where they going? How they making their money? And yes, entrepreneurs are younger these days. I think 2017 or 18, that age was it the median age or the average age? I know it was 38 to 34, but I don't know if there was mean or median.
Could it be that some of them have seen the results of people that have gone to college, like their parents, and they might see what they do as a struggle that they don't want for themselves, no matter how successful they are. And in this age, they think everything is easy without work, or easier without work, like there is a shortcut that they want to bypass that their parents may not have opportunity to have.
I mean, maybe. Like, does that seem like the most plausible? And as a man,
I mean, at this age, no. But if I'm thinking with my 21-year-old brain or 19-year-old brain, you see, you're influenced by entertainment, you're influenced by your music, and you see the quick money, and you can get on your phone now and make a video and have instant fame, and you might think that fame turns into money, and that could kind of derail your thoughts on sitting in the classroom all day and want to do that. Well, that goes to what you put in the group chat the other day about men seeking more trade-based jobs. I think what was the Grits podcast you put in there about how many plumbers electricians will need within the next 5 years. Mm-hmm. So
shout out Grits and Eggs podcast, y'all. Like, Deontay, you doing your thing, man. Like, I love how you, right? And it's all very helpful. And they'll get in there and make jokes and talk about the bullshit, but like, you gonna walk out with a sermon, or at least you done revisited some of the choices you done made or you about to make or something. But I think what he was saying was like, yo, young guys, hey, there's so much opportunity out there that has nothing to do with traditional college. Yes, it is another level of school, but it's school that you don't have to be in as long. You can get in a union. You can start making money, I mean, within 2 years typically. Mm. I mean, you still gotta, get your hours or whatever, but a guy was like, wah, it's y'all's fault, women, because y'all don't want to wait on men to make their money. Of course, women, it's our blame. Everything's our fucking fault.
Oh, there was a clip attached to this?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
A man making money shouldn't be about a woman. Y'all need to make money regardless. We all need to make money regardless.
Because it might be in there. But maybe you should play this so we can get like an idea of...
80,000 electricians are needed every year for the next 5 years.
Jeez.
To make up the shortage that they have. We need 5,500,000 plumbers by the year 2030.
5,500,000.
What an opportunity. Now, we've been talking this trade talk. We've been telling niggas. But do you understand? Okay, you want to get money, right? Do you understand that with a shortage like this, that you're going to be able to set your price because there will be no competition? There is no better time to go get a trade than now.
Right now.
They're gonna give you the trade. They're gonna get, because they need it. It's in such demand. Because imagine this, and this is the situation that was proposed by this man, is that imagine having to wait 4 weeks for a plumber because there is none available. There's not enough plumbers, so you have a plumbing issue and can't nobody get to you. You because nobody's doing it. Mm-hmm. That's gonna make shit smell like gold to me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's time to go get it. You ain't gonna. I mean, because this is the thing.
Literally.
That's a lot of motherfucking people.
Yeah.
By 2030, 500,000 people are needed. Mm-hmm. And nobody doing it. This is a golden opportunity for young black men. I promise you. Young black men that are trying to pivot and find a new direction in their life because the warehouse ain't working out no more. It's time, bro. It's time. You're going to have to stop spending money. Don't spend no fucking money. You don't need no new shoes. You don't need no new clothes. You need to save all your money and go take that leap. Go back and live with your folks and tell your folks what's going on. Like, hey, I'm finna be an electrician. If we need $80,000 a year for the next 5 years just to make up with the people that's moving out, first of all, this is how you get a great union job. But this is also how you get a skill that you can transfer into your own independent contracting business.
Facts.
And you're going to get money. You are going to get money, nigga.
I love how you put the nigga on the end. Consider the fact that, like, my dad is a skilled tradesman. So the people he talking about retiring, that's my daddy. He be on my jobs. He's my project manager. He be on my jobs. He'll tell them to do something. So, and it's easier for him to just, hey, let me show you how to do it. He will stand there and guide, direct. He don't want to do nothing. He say his work is done. Not a thing. I can guarantee you it ain't gonna be no Polish person, rolling up to my house to change my locks. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's very much a geographical thing. How many Romanian dudes rolling up to my house to, like, lay some sheetrock and tape and float? No, I ain't gonna tell y'all their name. Oscar. You've been at work for me for like 10 years at this point. When Oscar is talking, my dad talks to Oscar in Spanish. Like, Oscar's English, but he making that shmoney. Mm-hmm. I can guarantee you, Oscar barely know how to work the PayPal. I'm just saying. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I think the whole Eastern European thing, I just think it's an East Coast thing because I'm looking for a tree man and they sent a white person to my house. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just don't associate them with cutting trees. They cut trees, lawn design. Sorry, I initially I don't trust it. Sorry. They barely even got grass and flowers and stuff up here. So what you know about grass and flowers? I need somebody who's used to sunshine and grass and flowers. And one of my guys named Pablo.
You don't got grass and flowers in New York, Aaron?
I'm talking about in Houston.
Oh. I'm like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like when I get somebody to do work if I call Thumbtack, they're not sending the people I would typically deal with.
You can't choose the people, or they just send whoever's first available?
I think it has something to do with, like, you can put your skill level or how you're rated, or, and I think people just go through there and pick it like that. That's how I picked a sitter for the dog on Rover,
Never heard of any of these. Okay.
And that's typically been young white chicks. That's the answer on the Rover app.
I can see that makes sense.
I'm going to tell y'all about the college hustle. And I agree that college isn't for everyone. Especially if you're not going into something that is a trade, meaning accounting, being a physician, dentist, lawyer, engineer, something like things that are actual trades, or even computer science. But you kind of can make money in college off, like, scholarships you get, grants you have, like, all kind of stuff. Like, my refund checks in college wasn't. It was a lot. And I just feel like if you a hustler, like, you're gonna make that happen. You're somebody that's gonna find a way. So I don't even want to say that, like, the whole hustle culture thing is bad, but I do think it has to be supported by a plan. Like, what are you gonna do? How are you going to do it? It is moving. The doo-doo in the toilet that's going to get clogged up that you need a plumber to fix. It is moving. Electrical current in the wiring in your house. You need somebody to come and fix that because it's blown out. You got these old-ass houses up here in the East Coast. Yes, 100 years. Trust me, they going to stay needing electricians up here. All these old houses, it's a fire every day. Every day. in the city. It's a fire because they, I don't know, using candles or something to light the room. I don't know, but whatever the hell they be doing. Again, who's there to fix it? Joe Blow ain't finna do it. Like, it's a real thing. You need a real licensed professional to like come and take care of that.
I think you got to show these people's checks, because I think the younger generation's response to actually seeing money and knowing it's obtainable. So he can say the message, but if he had somebody, or if we had somebody that we say, hey, listen, I am an electrician. This is what I make every week. It took me this long to make this every week. It took me this long to go to school. That kind of like sets the plan for them, as opposed to them going in and just thinking, okay, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to immediately make that money. Because when that doesn't happen, then you're right back to start.
There's actually a page that I follow. I wish I could know the name of it right now. But essentially, they go around asking people what they do and how much they make.
I know you're talking
It is like one of the, first of all, it's how I found my therapist or my behavioral health specialist provider. But it's a great way to like see a real person in that field and what they do. And if you need the whole image of what is offered on social media, you can look at them, see what they got on, see if they fly, see if, if it's something that is appealing to you, and maybe that is helpful. But
Dad had actually always told us to ask, like, if you see someone with a really nice car or dressed really nice and you like their appearance and you like how they live in, it was like, always ask them what they do for a living.